The stage was set. The bright studio lights cast a professional glow over the sleek, modern set of The Claire Bennett Show, a prime-time talk show known for its sharp political commentary and relentless questioning. Tonight's guest was Barron Trump, and the audience could feel the underlying tension in the air. Claire Bennett, the seasoned liberal host, was an expert at crafting narratives. She had built her career on mocking conservative figures, taking jabs at their policies, and often framing them as out of touch or unqualified. Tonight, her target was the youngest Trump, Barron. Barron was a rare guest in the media world. Despite his family name, he had largely stayed out of the political spotlight. But recently, he had started making public appearances, displaying an intelligence and quiet confidence that surprised many. Claire wasn't impressed. She had planned the interview to be light-hearted on the surface, but strategically laced with condescension, the kind that would make audiences laugh at Barron rather than with him. The cameras started rolling, and the audience cheered enthusiastically, though some seemed more interested in seeing how Barron would handle himself rather than supporting him outright. Claire extended a hand as Barron walked onto the stage. At 6'7", he towered over her, his calm demeanor a sharp contrast to the eager, almost performative energy of the host. He sat down, crossing one leg over the other in an effortless display of composure, adjusting his suit slightly. Claire flashed her trademark mischievous smile, the kind she used when she was about to have fun at someone else's expense. "Well, we have a Trump on my show. I didn't think that would ever happen." The audience chuckled. Barron offered a polite smile but didn't react beyond that. Claire leaned forward. "Welcome, Barron. This is your first time doing a big sit-down interview like this, isn't it?" Barron nodded slightly. "It is." Claire smirked. "Nervous?" The audience laughed again, assuming the young Trump must be out of his depth. But Barron just tilted his head, meeting her gaze without a hint of discomfort. "Not at all." Claire's smile froze for half a second, just enough for the camera to pick it up. She cleared her throat, brushing it off. "Well, I have to say, I think people are fascinated by you." She chuckled, shaking her head dramatically. "Come on, you're 18, you're ridiculously tall, and you come from that family. It's like you were made in a political laboratory." The audience laughed, and Claire leaned back, grinning smugly, waiting for Barron to stumble or look uncomfortable. Instead, he simply nodded. "I suppose that's one way to look at it." Claire's smile tightened slightly. She had expected him to flinch, to show discomfort, but he remained unshaken. She flipped through her notes and decided to push harder. "So, tell me, Barron, growing up in Trump Tower, private schools, luxury vacations, did you ever feel like you were in a bit of a bubble? You weren't really seeing what real life is like?" The audience murmured with anticipation. This was a classic trap. If Barron said no, he'd sound entitled. If he said yes, he'd be admitting that his upbringing made him out of touch. But Barron didn't blink. "Everyone grows up in a bubble, Miss Bennett." Claire blinked, caught off guard. "Oh?" she said, tilting her head, the smugness slowly fading. Barron nodded. "Your childhood, for example, was probably very different from mine." "Does that mean you're out of touch with how I grew up?" The audience let out a collective "ooh," sensing the shift in control. Claire's eyes flickered, her mind racing. He had turned the question back on her, effortlessly. "Well," she started, trying to regain control. "I wasn't exactly flying in private jets as a kid." Barron shrugged. "And I wasn't hosting late-night talk shows. Every life is unique. I don't think anyone fully understands someone else's reality unless they've lived it." The audience clapped unexpectedly, catching Claire off guard. She laughed, but it was a touch more forced now. Okay, I see you came prepared. But let's talk about something that's a bit more, well, controversial." She flipped a card dramatically, glancing at the audience as if she were about to deliver a punchline. "Greenland." The audience leaned in, sensing the moment they had been waiting for. Claire's voice took on a playful yet pointed edge. "Barron, I have to ask, your father made headlines when he suggested buying Greenland, claiming that its residents actually wanted to be part of the U.S. It sparked a global debate about strategic influence and control over the Arctic. Do you think he was serious? Or was this just another bold idea that was never meant to be taken literally? The audience burst into laughter, assuming Barron would squirm, hesitate, or try to dodge the question. Instead, he smiled slightly and leaned forward. "Well, Miss Bennett, my father had a clear perspective on Greenland. As he said, I don't really know what claim Denmark has to it, but it would be a very unfriendly act if they didn't allow that to happen, because it's for the protection of the free world." He believed that acquiring Greenland wasn't just about expansion. It was about securing freedom. The room went dead silent. Claire's smirk evaporated instantly. The audience, unsure how to react, gasped softly. Barron remained perfectly still, his expression cool and unreadable. He continued. He also said, "I think Greenland will get because it has to do with freedom of the world. It has nothing to do with the United States other than that we're the one that can provide the freedom." They can't. Now, whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny that he had a strategic vision. And it certainly got people talking about Greenland, didn't it? The audience erupted into applause. Claire stiffened in her seat, gripping her note cards a little too tightly. For the first time in her career, she was losing control of the narrative, badly. She scrambled to salvage the moment, trying to turn things back around. All right, she said, forcing a smile. "Let's not get too political here. This is a fun show, right, guys?" The audience laughed nervously, sensing that the interview had already gone wildly off course. Barron sat back, relaxed and unbothered. Claire quickly moved to the next question, desperate to recover. But everyone in that studio knew what had just happened. The once confident talk show host had just been outmaneuvered by an 18-year-old. And just like that, the internet exploded. Within hours, the clip was trending under #BarronOwnsClaire. Comment sections flooded with reactions. He didn't just hold his own, he dominated. Claire thought this was going to be easy. She learned today. Barron Trump is not to be underestimated. Tonight we witnessed something unexpected. An 18-year-old Barron Trump, standing tall not just in stature but in intellect, grace, and quiet authority. Despite his youth, he turned the tables on a seasoned host, countering every attempt to undermine him with calm logic and effortless confidence. In a world where media narratives often shape public perception, Barron proved that true power isn't just about experience or influence. It's about composure, intelligence, and the ability to command respect without ever raising your voice. If this is how he handles pressure now, one can't help but wonder, just how far will he go? What can we learn from this moment? Barron Trump demonstrated intelligence, composure, and an ability to turn the tables with nothing but logic and confidence. He proved that power isn't just about status. It's about poise, sharp thinking, and the ability to control a conversation effortlessly. In a world where media often shapes public perception, Barron showed that true power lies in one's ability to remain unshaken under pressure. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of politics and media. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.